Hallo, liebe GameStar-Leser, willkommen in Rockville, Maryland, wo wir heute zu Gast sind bei Bethesda Softworks, den Machern der Elder Scrolls Rollenspielserie. Und wir schauen uns heute mal an, was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion so alles für uns bereithält. Und ich kann jetzt schon sagen, es sieht ziemlich gut aus, wovon wir uns jetzt gleich mal überzeugen werden. Wir sprechen unter anderem mit Todd Howard, dem Executive Producer, und ein paar seiner Kollegen, die fleißig dabei sind, Dungeons zu bauen, Gesichter zu malen und Städte zu bauen. Viel Spaß dabei.
Guten Tag, readers of GameStar magazine. I'm Todd Howard, the executive producer at Bethesda Softworks, in charge of the Elder Scrolls series. And I've been here for over a decade. This is my 11th year, and have had a lot of fun making Elder Scrolls games here. Did a lot of work on the Terminator games as well back in the day. And we're here to talk about Oblivion, which is the latest chapter in the Elder Scrolls series. You know, one of the things we struggle with is presenting that size to the player while also giving them directions. So what we're trying to do much better this time is really tell you, you're succeeding, you're on the right track, here's what you should be doing. If you choose not to do those things, that's fine. But in the past, you know, it's been a little bit more of find your own fun, and I think that's great. But this time we're doing a much better job of giving you both, to saying to somebody who's maybe not ready for, here it all is, go do what you want, to say, you know, do this next, and here's where it is. And then when you do that, to say, success, you're on the right track, now go do this. So it's really finding a better way to meld those two things than we've done before. And that's, you know, for drama, obviously. But the vast majority of them, they're in various factions and things like that. It really depends on what quests you do, who you join, and things like that. And frankly, what crimes you've committed. You know, any game, it's funny. You sit somebody down in front of this and you give them a weapon, and they will start killing townspeople, 9 times out of 10. You give somebody a weapon, and there's somebody in front of them, they try to kill them. That's their first reaction in a game. So most of the people in our game tend to dislike the player when the player's done bad things, and most players like to try bad things and just sort of see how the game's going to react. They have jobs, they go places, they go pray, they eat, they sleep, they talk to each other, so there's a lot more life there, and that has its own set of problems we need to solve, because they go off and do things, they start killing each other and buying all this stuff from the stores and things like that. So that's something that we find we have to watch what happens and then rein it back when need be. The game is still, at its heart, from Arena and on, we just got to keep going back to it, is, you know, it's a dungeon hack fest. We can add in all of these layers and all this nice stuff, but the basic nut of the game is, here's a dungeon, here are creatures, and let's make that as fun as possible. Everything else, you know, it's great, but ultimately, it's gravy. We got to have that experience of hacking through a dungeon in any way you want, swords, magic, stealth, getting treasure, getting more powerful.
Hi, my name is Noah Berry. I'm an environmental artist for Bethesda Softworks, and I'm currently working on the Elder Scrolls 4. Here we have a scene where I've drawn a region for the area and added all of the objects here that you see into the region generator list. And this program has placed them all in a seemingly random method. But at this point we can still go in and bring these objects in by hand, just as we would in Morrowind. You know. Of course, having the same control over painting and vertex coloring and things of that nature. But this region system is very helpful in allowing us to place lots and lots of objects really quickly, and then also giving us the flexibility to go back and tweak them by hand and fix them up artistically, arrange things so that they're believable and organic as the player's walking around in the world.
Hi, I'm Matt Carafano. I'm the lead artist on Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I'm going to show you some of the Imperial City stuff that I'm working on. Here I'm showing the Imperial City, which is the capital of the province, and it's the biggest city in the game, and also the oldest. So here I'm taking a lot of influences from Roman architecture with the old stones and columns, as well as columns here in the center of the city. And the domed roofs. And I wanted to show that this is actually just a small section in a much bigger layout that you can see here on our map. We're just looking at a smaller section of the city.
My name is Istvan Paley. I'm a senior artist here at Bethesda Softworks, and I work with a group of artists and level designers basically building out all the dungeons for Oblivion. This is an example of one of the dungeons we're building. Those same pieces that you saw on Max right here are snapping together, building a hallway, stairs, everything snaps together. I can turn on and off lights. I can do the placement of any doors, smaller clutter items. Again, we have hundreds of these things that we built as a kit, and they sort of snap into place here. So I can take you through here. We also build in traps, interactive assets. If you can see here, there's like some spikes. In this particular room, if I actually were playing this when I go to test it out, if I walked in here, this is basically a large floor piece that would knock me into the spikes. It's a trap that I have to avoid.
Guten Tag, ich bin Christiane Meister. I'm the lead character animator for Oblivion, and I will show you some characters and some armor and hair and faces, and things like that. So you can make him look as silly as you want. It's very customizable. And you can just do random also. And you can see all the different varieties that you can get, coloration, shape. And here also you can just generate face after face after face, and it will actually do different ages. You can make their complexion lighter or darker.
Leider durften wir bei unserem Entwicklerbesuch bei Bethesda keine Szenen aus dem eigentlichen Spiel aufnehmen. Aber was wir dort von Oblivion gesehen haben, macht mich schon ganz heiß auf das Spiel. Neben der Grafik freue ich mich vor allem auf die KI und die tolle Physik. Das ist mal was ganz Neues für Rollenspiele.